how did you love those old school vibes in that intro? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that's back. I'm Sam Cooney, your Art Sherpa, and today I'm going to show you how to paint that cool fire you saw going in time lapse there at the beginning of the video. This is going to be in acrylic paint. I'm going to explain every technique, every tip, everything you need to know so that you can paint along with this video home and create your own work of art. If you guys have been here on the channel for the 7 years that we've been here, hi John.
Hello.
My husband John, he helps me do these videos by making sure the cameras are pointing at what I'm doing, that you guys can see the color mixes, that you guys can see the brush strokes getting right into the paint. And he also, if you have a question and you put your question all in caps, it might be asked on the show directly of me because this is a live stream. I do these live. No safety net because that's how I like to roll. Okay, so for those of you who've been here for the full 7 years, did you guys love seeing the old intro again? I think we're going to bring that back for a little while.
Patty was thrilled to see it, so thank you, Patty, for all your support.
To go back and touch back to how long we've been here and how long we've been doing this. Mm-hmm. And how many friends and family have come with us the whole way. I really appreciate it. Are you guys ready to find out about the materials that was in that really cool new material list?
We're going to go. I
hand drew all those brushes just so you know. It's fine. It was just a big project.
Do you want to see those again?
No, it's okay. They can rewind. It was I did some beautiful work on it. 16 by 20 canvas today. If you'd like to see what's involved in this painting, we did do a preview time lapse with music. So you can watch it in 14 minutes. And if also you need a refresher, that might be a good video. Let's see the paint. I did it. Okay. So the colors were up on the thing, but we'll go over it again. Dox purple and Mars black down here. And then I have quinacridone magenta, Dox purple again, cad yellow, cad red, phthalo blue, titanium white. I'm going to be starting out with a 1-inch or 2-inch cutter. This is a Bright with hog bristle. Something big that looks like a house brush will be perfect. I might even size it up. Size it up. Are we ready to do a step, sir?
Yeah.
We break these down into steps because this year we've been writing little micro books that match the videos that explain all the steps written out. They're like fully written out, step by step. They come about 7 to 10 days after the video. They're released for free. They're free to download if you want them. And that timestamps it so you can come back and find it. Did you know that, John?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did because we've been doing it in a minute. Another interesting thing you might not know is it's going to happen to everybody really soon because YouTube is auto-chaptering everything.
Wow.
That's going to be rolling out over the next year. We'll see if that's a new feature that glitches us all into oblivion or helps our viewing experience be better. It's a mystery we don't know yet.
It's a mystery.
We don't know yet. Where are my rags down there? All right. Step me.
I already did.
Okay. Then we're going to paint the background purple.
Step the
One
background
is paint
purple.
the background purple. I don't know that.
Step into the purple.
I'm going to get a towel.
All right,
so the reason I always get a towel is whenever you're using a natural hair brush with acrylic, it's going to carry a little too much water. So you're going to want to towel that out. See?
Uh-huh.
See? I always get the Bugsy Malone going. I'm going to load up on both sides of my brush. I'm going to start painting this out. Now, when I'm painting a whole background, sometimes the canvas is thirsty. And so I might mist it with a little bit of water. And also bring down my splash guard.
yeah, got to have that down.
That's a new feature. The splash guard. In the original days, some of those opening clips you saw that is from our old intro.
Yeah.
We didn't have a splash guard, and a lot of that art has splatters and stars and all kinds of extra goodies on it.
It does.
Because it got into the zone. So see, as you go and you go and you go, you learn as you go. Right? You don't know everything when you start. So you got to learn as you go. And that's like you guys today. You're learning as you go. All right. So you can see some of these economical canvases have kind of a coating that you really got to work your brush into. And I'm going to tell you something right now, guys.
What's that?
If you can invest in a little backup run of canvases, I might.
Oh, yeah?
I think that they're going to go up in price here real soon.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. I think we're going to see it go up and up and up. And potentially really up. At which point, if it does, I'll teach you guys how to make masonry boards and stretch your own canvas. So don't worry if you see them going. But if you like the convenience of pre-made canvases, you might want to have a few packs of them of your favorite sizes just sort of saved.
Wouldn't hurt.
Wouldn't hurt.
Which camera am I controlling? It's not moving. Oh,
But thanks to my college art teacher, Bonnie Newman, I think it was.
Oh, there you go.
I can stretch canvases, as can my mother. So,
if it's not one thing, it's your mother.
It is in my life. My mother is an adventure. She's not a mom, she's an adventure.
It keeps focusing. You know, your background is so background, the camera doesn't want to focus on it.
Yeah. But you know what I did here? I just made it purple.
Yeah.
You can handle that. You just need a purple background.
I got to fix the camera because
it's all
like
You can do 2 coats if you want. I know if you're very concerned about that, you can do 2 coats. I'm going to dry it so that John can get a picture of it because otherwise it'll be too shiny.
Okay.
Too shiny.
Too shiny.
Well, you'll be drying it over there, or you can dry it over there, and I'll talk to them over here.
Yeah, that's probably better.
All right. So John will
take
dry
that down.
it, and maybe there'll be a question or anything.
Let me go look at the questions.
And I'll hand this to him.
And I'll go check.
So this will be something you see during the live shows because even though I've done the time lapse, that's a very different size painting. It was much smaller. And so we still need to step-by-step these because it'll be a little different being sized up.
You know what?
Huh.
People are super excited to see the new... You sit there, turn around.
You knocked my painting down. What?
They won't see it.
Don't knock my art. What do they want to see?
They want to know. They want to...
Oh, the new wall.
They want to... They love the new intro.
The new intro and the new old intro. If you haven't seen the intro before, we've been on here since like 2014. And we've had a lot of intros. Some have been winners. Some have been so strange. That's my favorite intro that we ever did. The Glitter Beard was actually not even on our channel. It was on Mimi Made It's channel when we were a guest teacher over there. And we did a glitter snowman class because, you know, what you want to do is paint and glitter because we did a whole bunch of glitter paintings for a period of time that we thought would be a really fun idea. I even drug my mom into it. She came over and collaborated, and we both painted in glitter. Did some nutcrackers, I think, and I did one other glitter painting during that time period. We'd done blacklight painting. We've had slow intros where it was a very long, emotional intro with video that sort of alluded to what was going to be in the video. And what we found was the audience on YouTube, not our core art family, not you guys, but the audience on YouTube changes. So sometimes they want a long intro and sometimes they want you to start right now, right now. So we got in the habit of starting right now for a period of time because we were like, don't click away. I'm really going to show you how to paint. And, but we were just like, you know what? Let's just go back and celebrate some of what made our show kind of cool and awesome and unique out here. Don's getting the pictures on the now not shiny canvas. And so that's sort of the thinking that it did. I mean, eventually I think we'll have to take that old intro and stepping. How are you guys doing? So I think eventually what we're going to do is take the old intro and put some new shots in it and then maybe keep some old shots. I'm not really sure. We're going to do a lot of things. I don't know. I mean, remember when I did Sherpaception? That was terrible, but fun. It was a very bad video, but fun. Huh?
I'm going to put autofocus on you.
And put autofocus on me because I got fuzzy? I was trying to be Stephen Colbert and run up on the camera. Huh?
When is your sport another glitter piece?
He had a piece of glitter in his nose, like a glitter booger, for a year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was rough. What? Flick. You just flicked at me. Did you want me to flick?
No.
Do you guys have sign language between you as a couple? John and I have that, but we don't always speak the sign language accurately. So the hand signals we give each other just confuses the other partner deeply. Like, what? Is there something on my shirt? I don't know what he was doing. Maybe He was hot. But he was over there doing this with the shirt, and I'm like, oh, I must have something here. I should go fix it. There's a spider. What is it? Don't scream. Don't run away. All right, you guys want to see what the next step of painting the fire is? Well, it's old school day.
It's like
madness and mayhem while we learn how to paint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is, I don't even have, like,
words.
Yeah, this is it. This is what you guys get.
Is there a tightening of this here?
There is. There's all sorts of things.
This
I'm
needs
going
to
to
be
continue
tightened.
to adjust the.
Oh my goodness. You're going to have
What
to.
are you doing over here? over there.
Where is this?
I've lost all the buttons.
This is terrible, John.
Okay, I gotta come fix that. You turn around and talk to people.
Just keeps tipping to the side.
You just turn forward. Talk to them. I'll fix it. Because you're not
what
fixing
did you do here? All right, it's fine.
You
Not everything we design and put into the studio is a brilliant piece of tech. This is going to also get a redesign here in about a minute. John's going to come back here trying to be off camera. Oh, he's on. Stand hands up. Oh, he broke it entirely. Your painting class is over. Oh, he left with our painting. Do you think he'll give it back? I hope he gives it back. Sometimes people steal our paintings, and you have to wonder, will they come back with them? He's using his multi-tool. The best Christmas present I ever gave him, ever, like in the history of our marriage. Given him a lot of Christmas presents, but this one's his favorite. It's the multi-tool. Okay. Beautiful, thank you. What was going on with that? You don't know? All right. I had a variety of brushes described to you at the beginning of the video, and it's kind of a guess because this is live. So I'm going to see what I use, and we'll go along. All right, I'm going to try a big hog round. This is a number 20. The reason you don't see the numbers necessarily on the outside of the thing is because numbers are different from every brush line, like every one. But I want a fairly big brush. This is comparable to the other hog brushes that I've used in the past. See, sort of the same size. Same. I'm just trying to let you guys know it's knowing and understanding what brush it is. So this is a round with hog bristles in a pretty big size, at least as big as my finger. What do you guys think of that? Okay. You can put your headphones on. You've been talking to them and they couldn't hear you?
Something like that.
So there's a little fire going up here, right? And I'm going to put some little sort of sketchy white flames in, just to sort of know where things are. So if I come up here, if this is the middle of the canvas, I'm going to come over a little bit to the right, and on the toe of the brush, I'm going to make a decision of just a rightward facing curve stroke. You might wonder, why are you doing this white right now? That's because later I've got to come in with some yellow, and I'm going to need some of this. Not all of this. Let's come down here. This is the left side midway point kind of up here. We're going to paint a little bit of the flames. It could be coming up on our crackling fire in white. Notice that I'm using S-curve strokes. You guys see that? And bring that down. The brush is fairly dry, not a lot of moisture in it. Paint load is light. My pressure is light, and that way I get a good dry brush in. Right? Because this is dry brushing. Come here and maybe think about a little dancing fire that comes here. There's definitely a little wood area here. So I've got to make some embers or flames that are coming out this way. And we know that the center can come up like this. And then it's going to wander out a little bit. Here now, I've got some stones. Right? And I'm actually looking at my reference, guys. So, and again, you can watch the time lapse.
Or you can get the reference image off of the website.
Or you get the reference image off the website, which is also okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit of an area I know is going to be, notice it's very light with my paint. I'm just giving myself some guidance where I'm like, hey, there has to be some stones here, some things to contain the fire.
Contain the fire.
Contain it, man.
You can't.
Don't just gender reveal the forest into a blaze.
I don't understand that.
You know what I actually thought of, John?
No.
That I was going to do a gender reveal painting lesson so people could reveal the gender of their baby without environmental destruction. I was like,
do you have to burn things to do a gender reveal?
I don't know. You have to. I think have to is a very strong word. I'm going to come in here and add a little more.
Is that like a custom I'm unaware of?
What?
Is that a custom I'm unaware of?
Yeah, no, right now, like everybody's doing these firework kind of gender reveals.
Everybody
where they do
stop.
Explosions.
Don't do that.
And so I just thought if we did a gender reveal lesson where like you paint a certain part of it, I don't know, if you're revealing the gender of your baby, let's look at that. So it's not too big. We just want to kind of put in an idea of where those flames are. And we kind of know when our fire is burning, and we kind of want to know where our fire is burning. Then we can come in and add some smoke while this white is drying. And again, the white's going to help us when our yellow's struggling to cover. And there will be times when the yellow is struggling to cover, and we may even come back and put in some more white. So that's what we're trying to balance, the transparency of the yellow and the placement of our flames. You ready to take a picture of this? And do you have any questions besides gender reveal baby painting lessons?
There was a good question, which is, did you have any formal training? Because Susie feels like you're giving formal training every day. And yeah.
Well, I am a third generation artist, so I sort of grew up art. And then because of that, whereas my mom did not herself give me art lessons because she recognized very early that mother-daughter dynamics don't necessarily lean into the teacher-student relationship particularly well, but she would take me to every course, every workshop, every training session that she would go to, and then she supported me getting to go to art school. So I do have a bit here and there. I would actually be honest and say that a lot of my education has come after trying to fill the holes that maybe I didn't get in a traditional education path. Color theory, art. I mean, it was great for art history and context, but some of it just left me a little behind on process, and it certainly left me a little behind on the art business side of things. They don't necessarily, hello, baby. That's a dog down there.
So now I think that we're
ready
on
for
a step, aren't we?
We're ready for a step. Let's step it up. Okay. So there's a lot of different brushes we could do our little smoke with, but I think I'm going to use an oval mop just because they're a nice brush for it. And I'm going to grab, this is a Ultimate Varnish 1-inch oval mop. I can't hold you and paint smoke. It can't be done. And again, it's my puppy. So we're going to come here and make a little bit of transparent smoke. And there's a couple ways that we're going to get the transparency. Value, that's how light or dark it is. How opaque it is, how transparent it is, which we were going to use some glazing medium, which you saw in the opening for a material that you might need. Remember that, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw it, so we knew we needed it. We're going to put that out. It looks opaque, but it's actually transparent. This is the brand and product I recommend because it's a slow drying extender and a glaze. I've got this brush. I'm going to get my purple water out of the way. It's too purple. I'm going to get this just moderately damp and wipe it off on a towel. Oval mop is what this is. And I'm going to get a little of my glazing medium all into the bristles. And I'm going to sneak up on my phthalo blue. See me sneaking up?
Mm-hmm.
Sneaking up on it. Smidge of white. Just a smidge at first. We're going to come here and see how we're doing. Our smoke is going to travel kind of up and off the canvas.
Okay.
Oh, that's too opaque. So if when I'm getting in here and I'm like, oh, my color is too dark.
Yeah.
I get more glazing medium. I wipe off on my towel. And I come back and check my transparency. Now, the other thing that I'm going to be doing is doing, much like with the flames, curving and swirling brush strokes. And if I want to, on this, I can even push with my fingers.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just phthalo blue and the glaze, it's not too bad. You should always check your allergy sensitivity to any art products before you get your hands in it. And that's just because sometimes something might not be traditionally an allergen, but it might be for you.
Mm-hmm.
So always, just like hair color. Just like hair color. A little smoke coming up from the embers over here. And we're just pushing it up, and it's transparent. It's a subtle thing, my friends, a subtle thing. I can always come in with some light blue. Look at that. Just blue. And phthalo blue in and of itself is pretty transparent. on your purple canvas to your eye, your naked eye,
Uh-huh.
notice these little swirling strokes. Look at this. A little bit like a makeup brush, isn't it? Good brush to have around.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Hmm.
So Kim would like to know, so can you use zinc white for transparency?
Yes, you can, and it's brilliant. And we used to only use zinc white for transparency.
Okay, so here's the
And if you do landscape painting, totally get yourself a tube of zinc white, please.
But here's a follow-up on that.
Okay.
Can you make other colors more transparent using zinc white?
Yes, you make all colors transparent using zinc white. That's why landscape painters like it. Zinc white is wonderful for a couple of reasons. We're going to keep swirling and using our little fingers and just making sure we have random flowing fog shapes, which are basically little C strokes and S strokes. Just in case you're like, what's a fog shape? What's a smoke shape? I don't know. C's and S's.
Huh.
You're wondering how we get there. C's and S's. So zinc is loved by landscape painters. I'm going to do a little scumble here to create some atmosphere. And it does a couple of things. It helps you lighten a color without changing its hue. In other words, I'm going to let that dry for a second. Anyways, so here's what you do. If you take cad red and you add titanium white into it, you get coral or peach. If you take cad red and you add zinc white to it, you get a lighter cad red. That's a little more transparent. In landscape painting, this is fantastic for clouds and mists and all kinds of effects to really give it that oil kind of look when you're trying to paint an oil look with your acrylics. Like if I was doing, we're talking to Catherine and her husband, the Jenkins. We're talking to the Jenkins and Gary and Catherine Jenkins and that beautiful oil effect, zinc, which they can't use anymore in oil, but we can still use in acrylic. Can really help you get that very transparent oil effect. It's just a wonderful product to have in. Has some environmental concerns. Just use regular paint safety and you're good. All right.
Good to know.
It's all on the tube. Everything you need to know is on the tube. It's not worth a panic. It's just worth a read. You know what I'm saying? Some things aren't worth a whole panic, like Teflon. Teflon's worth a whole panic. Zinc is just worth a read.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to add a little bit of the titanium white to the phthalo blue. Notice it's very carefully adding it and adding glazing medium in. If you don't have glazing medium and you're trying to do this project, you can use water. Just give your layers ample time to dry. And you'll start to see what I mean about C strokes and S strokes and curves. And see how I'm getting that in there?
Yeah.
Or you want to soften it, go ahead and get your little finger involved. Once you verified that getting your finger involved is not going to cause you any, discomfort. And you can see like lighter value comes in and makes it a little more misty and smoky. You can also use rubber gloves if you're at all concerned.
Yeah.
Whenever I do this, like sometimes with CAD, I'll demonstrate it with rubber gloves just so people are thinking sometimes what we do as teachers, our students just do trusting us. And that's why I like to give a little safety tip here and there. Just so you guys know that, yeah, acrylic paint is safe, but like everything else, you got to read the label. Read those labels.
Read the label.
If you're lucky enough that they tell you in the label what's going on, paint companies will tell you because they like their customers to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to the Golden Factory. They're very attached to y'all being okay and alive.
And the environment.
And the environment. They're very into all those things, but I can't say that's true of every company.
Ooh.
So at least the paint companies do try to tell you what's happening.
While you're waxing philosophical.
Okay, and I'm continuing to add highlights to our smoke around towards the left, and we're going to come back through to the right. Yes, Steph?
How many coats of gesso to prepare a masonite board?
3.
Do, do, do.
People will say less, but I'm telling you, you'll be happier at 3. Allow it to completely cure between coats. Follow the instructions exactly. If it's too toothy, sand it, but with the dust mask on.
There you go, Staline. That's the answer.
It really is. It really is. Ooh. And the other thing, if you're doing a masonite board and you're prepping it, because I know Staline knows where to get her art stuff. I'm making this up. I'm like just assuming Staline is a girl. And I just realized in this moment, I don't know that. So if I'm wrong there, they Staling, what you can do is you can go to the art store and get GAC, Golden Artist Colors 100. That is their polymer. You paint the mason board with a thin coat of that seals anything from the substrate coming through your painting, and then do 3 coats of gesso. You are archival. Mm-hmm. It's not expensive. It's just a little bit of effort, and it will make a big result in the longevity of your art. Notice that we're just kind of, this is a lot like when you put in blush, isn't it? The little curving stroke of blush. Trying to get it in there. We're capturing just the little upwinds of our smoke.
Yep.
Doesn't need a little upwind of smoke. You don't need
a left-handed smoke shifter.
Is that a person with a fan?
No, it's like, have you never like borrowed somebody's smoke shifter?
I've never had a smoke shifter. That seems like some sort of fancy Boy Scout thing that you had.
Well, it is. Generally, like, one of the problems is that most of the time they get left at camp. So, you send a couple of boys to the next campsite to find a left-handed smoke shifter. And, normally they return with various results. Some people have right-handed smoke shifters. Some people are using their smoke shifters. But
I disbelieve the smoke shifter word completely. I'm going to continue to layer
this is
a more heavy coat of phthalo blue, creating layers and dimensionality to this wonderful smoke effect, which is going to be a big deal later in the painting.
Well, next time you're camping, especially if there's some Boy Scouts around, go ask to borrow their left-handed smoke shifter.
That moment when you're like, I hear you saying this word, but I disbelieve it's a real thing. I'm going to come in and add some purple back in, and that's just to create some, maybe some depth and dimension around it. Mm-hmm. And also to make sure that there's sort of a atmospheric cohesion. In other words, that what's in the background of the painting has a feeling as if it belongs in the painting. All right, we want to keep that. And notice I'm still using those little kind of dusty, blendy strokes.
That's an interesting question.
I love interesting questions. Ask them away.
Can you use acrylic primer from the store, like, wall primer?
Yep.
Huh. There you go.
Again, read. Sometimes they have unusual additives in them that might have some quality that might make them unideal. But when I used to do murals, absolutely pre-painted the large areas of the murals with house paint, which was more economical, and then come in and do the details with my good acrylic. Saving the money. Saving the money. Gotta save the money because I'm an artist. And so therefore must be starving, as I was told all through school. Mm-hmm. I was also told I had to be a man to be successful in art. I don't know how many times. What a ridiculous thing to say to people. Oh, so silly.
If someone had told me I had to be a man to be successful in art, I probably would have started sooner.
I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to stand back a little bit and make sure that I like the texture and flow and billowing effect of my smoke. This will come off with rubbing alcohol or soap. If you have Sherpa soap, it'll take it right off. But rubbing alcohol, get it off if you're having trouble. Got on a manicure, same thing. Don't use acetone, use rubbing alcohol. Do you want to take a picture?
I long to take a picture.
Do you long to? You can dry it over there too. Do we have a question? You on Masonite? I mean, I don't know. Okay. So Masonite is a flat board that you can even sometimes get at the hardware store. John can tell you its exact composition. It's a very nice flat surface, and you can cut it to any size.
Shipping.
Yeah. Here's a chunk of it, right? So this is pretty thick Masonite, but it's pretty nice, right? So here it is, and you can cut it into 8x8s or any of that, and easily mount it into frames and everything. And if you prep the surface, I'll make a whole video about this, but since you're here anyways, why don't you learn about it? So if you prep it with Golden Artist Colors 100, Polymer 100, which is their substrate sealer, and they've got a whole video on SID, which is structural induced discoloration, which I think is the most unfortunate name. Kills in the hardware store, right? Kills would be a good one. Anything that's going to seal what's under the board from coming up through the board, and not shorten the lifetime of your paint. And then a couple coats of gesso. 3 is my favorite. Did you dry it a little? I said you could dry it a little if you. I think I made it more optional than it was. I think I made a suggestion when I should have been like, you need to try it, matey. It's my TikTok pirate.
Okay. You're a TikTok pirate.
It's better than if I go, have you had some berries and creme?
Oh, God.
Well, I just ended that meme. Killed it right there. Listen, all adults, just to your 12 and 14 and under people in your life, if you'll just do me a favor today and go by and go, berries and creme, I want some berries and creme. That would do me a favor in my personal life. Because this makes Dora seem light.
Yeah.
You remember how we watched a lot of Dora?
Remember there was a group
Dora's
of people
a good educational show. It's just a lot when it's on.
Who had a visceral response to Barney. It's very similar. Very similar space.
Yeah, thank goodness they didn't do the Quizno sub ad. Things that I'm glad. Anyways, just do that. Even if you don't know what I'm talking about, just do it. Your child will scream and run away, and that will end the trend.
Huh.
In its bud.
All right. So we stepping?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a step. Look at that.
All right.
Where's step 4?
4. All right. So we're going to start putting in some of the embers and structure that support our fire. And I'm just going to keep using a round brush.
Round brush.
Yeah, just initially I can. I might switch into actually, I might switch into the angle now, guys. If I have it, and I do. This is a 3/4 inch angle. Any angle. You could also use, if you didn't want to use the angle, a bright.
Huh.
These would be fine. Any of this would be fine.
I see.
I'm going to come in here and begin with, let's get some dark value here. Load up with some black. Shall we? And we're going to say, coming through here, is a bit of burnt wood. Let's at least 1/2 inch underneath your flame. You can always move your flame up if you need to. The fire can move, my friends. And put it into this kind of center here. Let's bring it out a bit.
All I can say is, we didn't start the fire.
It was always burning since the world was turning. I think we did start the fire.
No. It's like some.
I think we did.
I would say that Gen X definitely inherited most of this.
No. I think we're all in a community. We're all aunties and uncles and brothers and sisters and mothers and daughters and sons and uncles and grandpas and grandmas to each other. We are family, even if we forget to act like it sometimes. So what I'm doing here is I'm making kind of rough. You guys see these rough angular strokes in
I see
black?
the rough.
It's not taking up my whole canvas. It's just sort of focused in this area. While I'm here, I can take a little of my black and red together and brush that in. Kind of implies the beginnings of some warmth. Doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Pretty okay. I'm going to add some of that right here, as you do. I'm going to rinse out. So it's a very rough angular stroke. That's why the square will work for you too, because you're making little strokes like this. You're going to go on your side, you're going to go on your edge, you're going to push it around. Push it, be a bully.
You're going to push it.
Push your painting around. Now I'm going to take my purple. Definitely going to take my purple and my red.
I was feeling a little salty.
Were you?
And peppery.
And I'm going to bring some of this out. And these are like little almost embers, right? They're coming out. Purple's between them. You can always go darker into the purple if you need the ember to be darker. See how that goes?
Uh-huh.
And I want it to taper here. The strokes will become lighter and more open. I'm going to bring some of that over here. And see, it's still a very low color. It's still in your nighttime hues. But believe it or not, your eye is going to see it. Your eye is going to be like, oh, I see it. I see it and I love it. And you'll be like, I know.
No.
You can be like Han Solo. I know.
I am going to...
Let's add a little titanium white to the Doc's purple and the Cad red mixture. And let's kind of ember this a little more. Make some distinctive shaped strokes. Some of these should be square, some of them should be angles, but they have sharp edges. They're not round. Can you notice that?
I do.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be perfect, but if you can keep them from getting round, and you'll want some to be small and some to be bigger. Oh, too much white. Too much everything.
Too much of everything?
Too much of everything. I got all excited, crossed my palette, and things went wrong. It's okay. It happens.
It does.
Notice how I'm just using, sometimes I use the corner of the brush and I push it in. I know you've got a question. I'm going to answer, Don.
I have no questions.
I thought you were going to ask me a question.
No. What I'm going to say is that Amy, one of our most...
Hi, Amy.
Punalicious.
Oh, I love the puns, guys. The dad jokes, the puns, the butcher's wife, Amy, all you guys doing these puns. It makes a difference to my life.
She is passing the pun baton to me and going to go take a much needed rest so her body can heal.
Her what?
Her body can heal. She's
yes. Definitely let your body heal.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to type and do all that at the same time.
Yeah.
So
all right.
I'm just acknowledging she's been doing awesome jokes in here with us. So
I appreciate that, Amy. Thank you so much for you guys that show up no matter what trends are going on or whatever craziness is going on YouTube. You guys show up and support every time. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We're fun like this all week.
If you're not new, hit that subscribe button and
if you haven't in a minute, because they probably unsubbed you. So we've got the purple here. We've got the highlighted purple through here. We've got some black here. So you guys see where that's going. Then we're going to add just a little more dimensionality. We're going to take our purple, and even if we need to, our blue. And we're going to make sure that through here, the values are dark and deep. These values here are dark and deep. Your soothing voice will help me sleep.
I shall put
I'm not a poet today. I'm a painter.
Put you to sleep with the soothing sounds of sarcasm. Yeah. Brought to you by Generation X.
Oh my gosh, you are just on it today.
It's just...
Let's add some shadows through here. Every generation is wonderful.
No, I'm fine. I'm just
owning
present to who I am.
You're just I'm just owning my reality.
I need to...
Let's come here and add a little dark shadow back into it, because fire is as defined by its light. If you really want it to glow, it's as much its light as it is shadow.
Okay, that's
you've got to get a balance of both of those, huh?
The fire is defined by its light.
And shadow. Shadow. And shadow.
And shadow.
And shadow.
I'm gonna have to, if you're gonna do that kind of stuff, I'm gonna have to play autofocus on you.
Actually, I'm kind of freaking out because I'm moving the camera.
I do that.
All right. So, is it just the screen or is the whole camera doing?
What you see is what you get.
Oh, really? That is what's happening? Oh dear, I'm so sorry if you guys are a little seasick at home. I really apologize. Are you liking this fire? Is everybody loving this? Did anybody show up today? I try to let you guys know it was happening, but it's been a weird time. You're in my patron group, you know it's true. It's been a weird time. The 5th fire I've gotten to this month. So,
is it a step?
I think we should call it a step.
All right. Let's see the step.
5. More fire. Let's keep it alive. So we have some gorgeous substrate here, and we can begin to think about what is ember. What is ember?
That sounds like a place in a book.
It does, doesn't it? Ember actually was a place in a book. I think it did. Neil Gaiman, wasn't it?
May have been.
All right, now we're going to add some glow.
That was amber, not ember.
Okay. We're going to add some glow, but before we get to the glow, let's get our little phthalo blue in here, a little bit. So take a little white in your phthalo blue, and let's come up here. We're going to make some, think of them as kind of like a rock. If you're going to have the light blue, it needs to be closer maybe to the fire. And I'm going to get a little bit of that white off there. I don't want stripes, but I'm going to just bring this blue, cool rock. It's a blue, cool rock, man.
It's a cool blue rock. Or is it a blue, cool rock?
I'm still on my 3/4 inch angle brush.
Or is that blue rock just cool?
It's just cool. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm making strong brush strokes that allow the angle to make hard edges. And that helps inform it. Maybe it's kind of stones, perhaps. Maybe on the back side of this log, there's some blue stones kind of cradling this. So we're just capturing little moments of them. We don't have to really paint or see the whole object, do we? We just need to know that it's there and it's happened. We just need to believe that it's happened. I'm going to drag this out kind of long, kind of implying that there's sort of a long, sort of flat slab shape here. And just bring in a little bit of this. It just captures some light. Rinse out so thoroughly, it's going to blow your mind. So thoroughly.
Thoroughly rinsed.
Thoroughly rinsed. I'm going to take a little bit of my Doc's purple and my quinacridone magenta. Let's get some white into here. And really see the warmed purple. You can even get a little of the, just a smidge, because it'll gray the purple a bit, of the yellow into that. I desaturate it a little.
All right.
And some of that slightly brighter. A little more into the magenta. A little bit there. Kind of implying maybe the forward facing. Some red. Oh, I like it with the red. That's nice. Oh, perfect. Cad red.
Oh, Kendra. That's what she was saying. She's still waiting on instructions for the letter. Gotcha. Email support@theartsherpa.com. We have a little message that we can send to you explaining what that is. And for everyone else who's asking, we're looking for folks who are interested in attending events that we would host at our own location in the future to write a little letter of support to say that they would be interested in doing that. And that just sort of helps all of our partners and stakeholders know that we're, going to do more of this stuff.
Add some of this cadmium red. Keep adding it in so it warms it. These are kind of like, there's still some heat in the ground. It's not the glowing ember. Sometimes see I'll use the corner of my brush. That's nice. That's lovely, right? Just paint your fire. Enjoy it.
So Patsy was asking, do we offer any CDs with your paintings that you can do at home? And no, we don't. But what I can say is that there are tools out there
to download it and it won't upset us.
Yeah, you can download videos from YouTube and store them for later. Like if you're going to be traveling or
take some black back in here.
You're going to be someplace where there's not internet. There's a lot of tools out there and they're free to get and they download things. I use a tool called 4K Downloader. It's the one that I purchased. I paid for it. It's a really good tool, commercially speaking. So there you go.
I was just waiting for you.
Oh, no, I just want to help him.
Okay. No, I want you to be able to explain that because people need to know how they can get their stuff. right? They need to know how. I'm going to rest my 1/4 inch, and I'll go ahead and try this hog. This is a Hog Bright. This particular one is a number 12. It's in the Raphael line, and it is the ARTIGNY line, or Artingy. We found it the other time. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. Like, I like this brush, but you get any brush you want, guys. Mm-hmm. I just want the corner here is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to take a little of my Cat Red, and maybe I'll go ahead and get it into my Doc's Purple. Mm-hmm. Kind of deepen it a bit, right? And we're going to come here. And what you're making, guys, is almost scales. The way wood burns, almost like dragon scales. Right? When you do lava, any of those things, you're going to see kind of a cracking, scaling, breaking up of shape with dark areas between. So with a bright brush, I can come back and do square. I can do corner to get small bits. But it helps me enforce that I've got more square shapes. That makes sense to you guys. Now, I'm going to want to put some little embers out here, kind of coming out. Embers there, kind of coming out. Let's think about a couple embers over there towards the right. And then perhaps, you know, something fell over and burned off, and we see kind of a little of that trailing off. I'm going to go more into my red. I'm going to capture some of these, maybe a little more in the red. I'm still going to respect the shapes. My brush is dry. Some embers might be brighter, so I can add some of those. This is just purple with a little bit of red, guys.
Gotcha.
We're just going to paint this till we have a gorgeous fire that warms our hearts and souls. This is probably the fussiest part of the painting here, is the embers. The rest of it will go pretty quick, because like in fires. Rinse it, rinse it, rinse it. Rinse it all out. Now you're going to get serious. Now you're going to take your yellow and your red, and you're going to make an orange. And it's for real orange. You're going to take the corner of this brush. If that doesn't work, use one of the rounds that I listed. If you're having any trouble, you're going to want to list around. We're making little pops of orange. So what it is that the fuel is hotter and therefore brighter. The hotter it is, the whiter it is. So we're moving through, getting to those hot embers. Mm-hmm. And to do that, we have to show the heart of the ember. Some are big and some are small. And I try to pay attention to that, you know, in my thinking. Some are big and some are small. Some are hotter. Look at that. Just building up those embers.
That's what it was. There was a TV show with those kids who went to Ember, and then they were trying to save it, and they were the magicians. That's what it was.
Oh, the magicians!
Yeah.
How did I forget that? I feel like I need to be kicked out of the sci-fi club. Oh my goodness. That was a really good show. And we liked Margot the best.
Yes, Margot.
Because she was a boss girl.
Marco was just
That's
so
amazing.
like, I don't know who left me in charge, but I think that was a mistake, but I'm doing it anyway.
And I'm going to do it better than you think I've ever thought to do it. So see how we're getting that? I'm going to stand back a little bit. You stand back and look at your fire. And what you should start to see is in the dark, dark of your fire, you should start to see a glow. You should start to see what is a glow.
I see a glow.
Right? You can even kind of come in and be like, maybe the fronts of stones and have a bit of a glow here. Right? You can do that. Now, a lot more yellow.
Lori would like to know, if you glazed with interference paint on spots, would it give more shimmer to the painting?
It could.
It could.
It absolutely could. It'll work better over dark than light.
Something to experiment with.
Something to experiment with. It won't hurt you. It won't. You still got to paint, your lights, your darks, and everything for your glow. The glow isn't going to happen without the values. But the interference could give you something of its own speciality, Yeah, we're just putting some little thought out here. That hue over there.
Yeah.
They won't glow till we get the white in them. The white hot part of the ember is what will make it glow. I think I want to bring down my black a bit. Add deeper, go down deeper. There we go. So there's more log.
More log.
More log.
You know why log? Because it's better than good, it's wood.
Better than bad, it's good.
Oh. Better than good, it's wood.
Better than bad, it's good.
It's log.
It's log.
It's log.
Stampy! Let's take a picture. We're going to call this a step. We're not going to worry about the hot embers until a little bit further into our fire, guys. Right? We want to get a little bit further into our fire. And this technique will work with any of your fire. I paint a lot of fires. Recently have painted a lot of fires. I'll probably paint more fires because fires are fun. Fire is fun. Fire is fun. Fire is fun to paint. But the principle of fire will remain the same. The way that it goes it goes red, orange, yellow, white, and sometimes blue. Those things will remain the same. Needing deep darks and blacks to go against it will remain the same. From lava to your fireplace, it's going to be the same. All right. Let's add a little fire to the fire.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a cat's tongue. You could use a filbert. You don't have to use a cat's tongue, but this is an Art Sherpa cat's tongue. I don't know how much longer they'll be out there in this form. There'll be something in some form.
There'll be some new version.
But these are pretty fantastic. It's the Art Sherpa cat's tongue. What you want is something with a stiff filament. It's a pointed filbert, but you could use just a filbert. I am going to begin with maybe some of my outside fire. Moving from the outside, going in.
All right.
I'm going to be using S strokes like before. I'm going to come on the edge there and curve it. Can you guys see how I'm doing that?
Yeah.
And the reason I'm starting here with this warm is that in the fire, again, the glow, the orange, is going to be to the outside. Soften that there. So if I'm trying to...
Oh, wait, I didn't step.
Honey.
So
sorry.
I didn't step apparently. So let me make sure I get the right step up here.
It's okay.
So I think that's supposed to be the right step.
I haven't coffeed in a second, so I'm going to sip my coffee.
Taste. I'll be coffee for a second while we're doing it because we rolled right into that.
We did. We just went. Fire! 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 Fire!
Totally had a Beavis moment.
I did.
Okay, so now, step 6.
Right, step 6.
What were you saying?
So we're going to go to the outside glow.
I was not paying attention in class again.
That's okay. You weren't learning how to paint, so. I'm going to come here and just notice that I'm just letting the brush open and leave. There's not a lot of water. The paint's not loaded too heavily. And I'm allowing the paint to kind of be thicker and thinner in some areas. And the brush stroke to be thicker and thinner in some areas. I can even kind of energetically do little on the edge brush strokes. It's kind of like a little ember that might be sort of going up. We'll get more orange in there. It's open. Could be sparks that are flying away. Fires are busy.
Could be the magic
of Ember. Magic of Margot. And Elliot. Just... I'm going to grow up and be Margot someday. That has a little bit of yellow over here. So if I want to just kind of brighten it, I can. Notice that? And I'm just adding little short strokes. Some of these will be maybe heavier in a little area.
And
then get a little bit lighter out here. It's the energy of the fire. Is what?
Is GAC 100? Can GAC 100 be used instead of gesso?
No.
It's a different thing.
It's a different product entirely. GAC 100 won't hurt your painting, but if you need gesso, I wouldn't use GAC as a replacement for gesso.
Huh.
GAC is a polymer. It's the acrylic polymer. And it doesn't have tooth, and it won't give you the surface that you're looking. It won't hurt you. You can paint over GAC. I'm going to just try to make sure that I have some of these little energies going. My fire needs to be burning. Because like in this, man, it's like this fire is a raging.
It is.
Have you noticed? I'm going to bring some of this here. I may have to come back with white, but I think I can get away with my orange. A little bit of red, a little bit of yellow. A little more red, a little more yellow. I want to take it more to the red. Definitely using my brush to create layers of the fire, if you guys can see this. Maybe that will curve around there. I might come back with like brighter fire there, so I don't want to take that white out yet. And I'm going to come back with more white where I need it. A little water, not very much over here. A little yellow, a little red.
Oop, there we go.
So where it's orange will be the cooler glowing part of the fire, and where it goes into yellow white will be the bright heat of the fire.
The heat.
The heat of it. S strokes, little curved strokes.
Mm-hmm.
Just talking about the flame.
Yeah.
I just add some more of these little transitional ember moments. They're like, they're coming up, they're sparking off. They make almost a moment that you're capturing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I can go way into the deeper yellow. Come off here, we're definitely gonna that fun, that kind of yellow orange. So more heat. You start to see it when you see the dark yellows versus the bright yellows.
Yeah.
I mean the dark oranges versus the bright oranges. So it's still orange. It's not the yellow, not white. It's just brighter. Notice I kind of swing those up so it's like the fire is dancing. Fire is dancing. Do a little curve there. Kind of capture the little engine. And let's call this a step. That way you guys can get caught up to where I am as we're building up the fire and we're turning up the heat.
That seems like a good place.
Rum, rum, rum. Rum, rum, rum. Because when you know, you know. It isn't good. No. How are you guys doing? I hope you're having fun with this. Now, things to embrace that you might need to practice are the curve of your strokes. F stroke, S strokes, arabesque strokes, C strokes, circle strokes. These are all, they kind of take a minute to get the flow from, the calligraphy from, but it's doable and you can do it. If it's your first time ever trying to do an S stroke, you know, calibrate that, consider it, factor it into how you're talking to yourself about your painting. What I really want you to do, where you are, wherever you are right now, if you're still with me, you should listen to this. If you're negative talking yourself about your painting, you're not helping you get to the end. I would negative talk you to death if I thought it would help you get a better painting. I would. I'd be so mean. I'd be like the drill sergeant from Private Benjamin. I'd be so mean, so mean. I would be like the chief commander from Malcolm in the Middle. I would be like that. I would be so mean.
Well, this is the most dangerous step.
Most dangerous step.
Because 7, 8, 9.
I know. It's just really bad.
Gotta be afraid of 7.
I don't know why we haven't convicted 7 yet. It's just terrible. So if it would help you by being mean to you, I would do it, but it won't help you. So what I need you to do is start to try to turn that cruise ship of negative talk and start to go, my curve strokes are getting better. My brush pressure is getting lighter. Start to see what you're starting to understand, what you're getting, what's working in your painting. That will help you get all the way to the finish, and it will also help you build those skills faster.
Embrace
Positive
the
reinforcement
curves.
does work better.
Embrace the curves.
Embrace the curves. All right,
about it.
So more heat, sir.
What's
More
that?
heat.
More heat.
More heat. I'm gonna put out some cad yellow for more heat. Mostly because I got some color in my cad yellow. I didn't mean to earlier, so yeah. Yeah, I know. It's a thing. All right. I'm gonna come into here and I'm gonna I will put a little of this yellow over here. It's not quite the full bright yellow, but and it's got some of the red in it. And we're gonna start to Build the heart of these flames up.
Ah.
I want to cover my canvas. It's okay if I have some dark areas, and I may have to put some back, because a good fire will have shadow. I'm following some path. I need to get some orange back in there, as I can come back. See how I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
Just brush that through.
Lori would like to know what interference paint is.
Interference paint is a paint with a chemically treated metal pigment in it. It's done in a color shift. So like the cars that you see that are two colors, it's kind of like that. And it's in a polymer. And when you put it over a dark color, it gives it like an iridescent shimmer. But there's different iridescent shimmers. They're not all equal. They're not all equal. Can't treat them like they're equal, because they're not. And some iridescents are just ugh, and some are amazing. I think golden makes a really fantastic iridescent. I did not necessarily like the Arteza ones or some of the more economical ones. I didn't find them to have the robust colorant that is required for iridescent to work. And I've done some demo on iridescent. I think the easiest, funnest one is the brushstroke video I did with the big purple brushstroke with iridescent. It was a really good one. Dancing these along here.
Huh.
Because you got to dance your flames, my friends.
Dance them.
Dance them. You can come back with some glow and say, oh, no, no, no. It's okay to change the meaning of the fire. Go right over that. It's too much purple, so I'm just kind of taking that back to the log a bit. And the yellow. And go back into my purple. Let's just make sure that in some of the places here where we're keeping some dark value that can give our fire some contrast, right? Into the night, you know? Give it some into the night thought. I'm going to stand back and give this a look. You want to always stand back and look at your fire. And it's okay right now. Okay. It's okay. But it's here and on out that we're going to get some of the more dramatic finishes that we need. So let's go ahead and take a picture. And we're going to get into our grass comb or fan. You can use for this a grass comb or fan brush. I put the fan brush in the materials because you're much more likely to have a fan or get access to a fan, and you might have a little trouble getting a grainer or grass comb. Though you can make it with scissors and a filbert, so you know, it just depends on your ingenuity, but what you want is a brush that's going to give you lines that are parallel to each other but a little bit ragged. A fan or grass comb will do that. Either one will get it done. Either one will get it done. What? All right. So we're getting in here and we're going to get into one of those brushes. So I'm going to find some.
You got to come back.
I am here.
Don't go anywhere yet. Tell them about the step.
I'm about to. I have to find the brushes.
Did you give them a
Step 8.
Step 8. See, then, but without this marker, we wouldn't know it was step 8. It's got to go up there.
I'm finding the brushes. You find the step. That's your job. I'll find the brushes if they're clean and ready to go.
Are they clean and ready to go?
I don't know. I've been washing brushes all week, so it's hard to say. I have one here. This is a crystal grass comb. I've got a really nice one. Oh, I have my favorite grainer. So this, sometimes they're called a grainer. This is a filbert grainer by Princeton Steel Grass Comb. This is a comb. It's in a braid, which is pretty nice, by Simply Simmons. Any of these will work if they're all fine. They're all fine. I'm going to take a little bit of my yellow and start to use this little comb. You could use a fan brush, a little fan brush, if you don't have this. You just want something that's going to give you these little rough lines. Could use maybe a hog brush if you're really, really having trouble. Look at that. We're just get in there with that kind of really bright, really wonderful yellow. And this will help us kind of talk about the way the fire can dance. And maybe even low along the ground, right? A little more yellow. Just along there. Look at that. See how we're creating these really detailed and thoughtful little moments there. We're painting our fire like we paint a portrait. This is a detail of a fire. So again, this is the particular size of this is 3/8. You might want to do a bigger one. It really is okay wherever you want to go. You just want something that's going to give you a nice effect. Again, use a bright in a, you could use a bright in a hog, you could use a fan, you could use some other brushes here. Fan brush, the one that looks like a fan like this. You could use one like this size. I wouldn't go any bigger, and a hog would be good. I'm going to show you real quick, just in case that's what you've got. I'm going to get that a little bit wet. I'm going to go ahead and load that up with a little bit of the paint. And you can see it gives you some similar,
almost more structure.
Yeah. It's just, it's what you want. Right? So either is fine. I'm going to sneeze.
Okay, you're going to sneeze?
I'm going to sneeze.
Okay, you're muted. I muted you. And you go sneeze someplace else. I'm going to look around. Did you sneeze?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Now I can come back with some red. Look at that. And put, same thing, get it wet. Any chance you get it, I might need some, put some red up here. Fresh water as I'm getting towards the edge here.
Oh, okay.
And come here and look at that. And that's some exciting color right there. I can also come through and kind of add a little heat to an ember here and there. Super fun. So you can play. Play, play, play. Play, 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 play. Play, 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 play. What you can do is you can play. And come here and just find the...
That's a beautiful fire.
Yeah, it's going to get there, man. It's going to be roaring and sparkling. By the time we add little sparkles, little bits to it, it's going to be really nice. Maybe come here and
put more
embers. A little
embers
bit of flames over here by these embers, maybe?
Yeah.
Why not? Something got burned in there. We don't know. Be fun. You just play with the color. You just know it's there for you. Little red. Little yellow. I thin it with some water. Again, fan or this. All fine. Yep. I get right into it. And you can put some little hot embers going off. But I do need some fresh water to do this next part.
Okay.
So I'll let John get a picture in some fresh water, and if there's questions. So it's here that the fire's heat finds its heart. Oh, yeah. No, sometimes when you're new, all you can see in the painting is your mistakes, and they're like a labyrinth, and you can't find your way out. And because we existed in a world where there's such a pass-fail, win-lose kind of environment, sometimes that sense of not being perfect or not getting it right creates an overwhelming, profound feeling of anxiety. And then, so you have all the mistakes, which is all you can see. You can't see what you did right, and you can't see your way through. What can help you break that is to take a rest, right? Recognize that you haven't yet learned to be in an artistically uncomfortable place, and be okay with that. Like all the time I'm in a painting and I'm like, I'm uncomfortable. Something about the painting I don't like, or there's something I've got to find my way through. But over the years, I can be in a place of like, yeah, I'm okay with it. It's okay, because I know it's okay, and I know it's going to be okay, and as long as I stay present and observe, I'm going to find my way through. But you may not be able to just power your way into that at this stage, so we need a picture. Oh, you did? Oh my gosh, she's so fast. So that's when you want to just practice walking away and giving it a rest mentally and emotionally, and then coming back and looking at it later. Maybe take a picture of it and look at it on your phone. Do not share it with your unsupportive friends and family members. They will not help you.
Check it out. 7's exonerated. 9's here after all. Totally unfounded concern.
I want to tell a joke, but I don't want to start everybody fighting.
That's a good idea.
Okay. No, I'm going to do it anyways. You're not allowed to fight. I want to go, fake news! You're not allowed to fight. I don't care what's going on in your life. That was funny. We can have a laugh and then just move on.
All right.
The sound of unsubscribe buttons are
7 did
deep
not
into the night.
Eat 9.
7 did not eat 9. That report was gradually exaggerated. It's like when celebrities like come back from a trip and they discovered that their deaths have been reported.
Wait.
I'm dead.
I was just on vacation.
I'm going to come right into this flame right here. And again, you could use your fan. You could use a round. You're just trying to create these little lines, though. Notice the heat and the lines and the energy.
There we go.
There it is. There it is.
Hoop. Oh, you didn't see it. I figured you were going to say there it is.
Nope.
You just left me like
I
totally.
did. It was funny. Little entertaining moments in my life. I'm going to come here and add little bits of white down here low where the fire's hot. Just a little bit of white and yellow. Look at that go. And it is beautiful. It is just beautiful.
It is. It's turning out to be very fiery.
Fire. You can even kind of press the brush in sometimes. And
Jenna wants to come back tomorrow and paint the Halloween one and mash it up with this.
it would be good.
Mash
it up. Mash up my paintings. That doesn't bother me. Sometimes you guys are so sweet. You use a technique or two, but you've so significantly changed the painting that it has become original. You've just learned the technique and you're doing that. You know, or maybe you continue on with an idea that I had, but you take it to a whole new space and you just keep going and going and going.
Now, I would like to take a moment to plug ourselves and thank a group of people called the patrons.
Oh, yeah.
And the patrons are this wonderful group of folks who help give beyond their own enjoyment. They help support what we do here. They help support the channel, make it possible for us to make these videos. And they're a lot of the reason why you guys get to enjoy these videos for free. It's because our patrons help support what we do. And if you'd like to be able to help support us, you can go to theartsherpa.com/patron and find out how you can be one of those folks that help make this possible.
And they get the fire painting that we were originally supposed to do, but didn't for all the reasons that you guys know. But they get it. So, and you guys get this one. So it's win, 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 win.
Fire.
Getting really good at painting fire this month. Okay. So I'm going to keep adding white.
Add the white highlight
in there. And I'm just going to use the edge of this brush. You can use a number 4 round. The Art Sherpa line. Any of those are fine. Any of it's fine. The bright pops of white are just going to help the heat of the fire.
Yeah. Fire heat.
It needs it a couple of places. The heart.
You must feed calcifer.
You must feed calcifer. All right, I'm going to stand back and look at that, see if I'm happy. Oh, it's starting to look really nice.
It looks really good.
Now, I got to get some embers going, really glow them up.
Yeah.
You know, that's an important thing.
I like
Glowing
the
up them embers. Glow them up. They got to glow up, my friends. Sometimes I'll just fancy it up a bit. You know, it's okay to fancy it up.
Schmancy.
Fancy schmancy it. Come in and get some red maybe. And
so you have to wonder, is schmancy part of a real word, or was it just a rhyming thing that English speakers came up with? Because it's a 50-50 thing.
It really is 50-50.
The English could be like, no, schmancy is a thing. And you're like, really? Huh. Right.
I'm just adding little elements to the fire that are pretty. Thank you.
And to all of our lovely patrons who make this possible.
I really appreciate it. Could not do it. All right, just adding those bright little bits. Now we have some sparks and embers that are coming off.
Yes.
Right? And those are bright. Those are bright, and they have a lot of motion. And let's start with a little yellow and a little red and a lot more yellow.
A lot more. Oh, let's go take a look at the.
We're gonna make some little. These are little sparks and embers that are coming off. It can be more orange. It can be more yellow. Some of them will be white hot, so you've got to plan for that. I'm going to do them down deep in the fire. I've got to make sure that they are white.
See, if you're feeling a Studio Ghibli painting, this would be the perfect one to get you warmed up to do Howl's Moving
Castle.
Castle.
If you put Calcifer's face in there, this would be Calcifer in 2 seconds.
Yeah. And if anybody does that, that's one of my favorite characters. So please do send up any Calcifer versions of this, because that's, I got a thing for living creature houses stuff.
We all. As they discovered over at Ghibli. All right. So when that's really, really good, right, we've got some white and yellow. Might get a little water into it to improve the flow. These are very bright embers.
Shamcey. Adjective. Aggressively or extremely fancy.
Is it really? Is it a real word? Are you kidding me?
Jenna says Shamcey is real. I think we need a shirt that says Shamcey is real.
I think we do need a shirt that says Shamcey is real. Oh my gosh.
I think that next time you guys show up, you're gonna have to check down below, because we'll make a shirt.
It takes it a minute for it to upload into the thing.
But I think that's
it could be here by next weekend.
That'd be good.
And if you guys are looking for some original art, some of that is going to be added for sale tomorrow. It should be available
on the website, theartsherpa.com. Tomorrow we will be releasing some krakens, some objects for sale. Some of them will be limited numbers. Actually, all of them will be limited numbers. We don't have a lot. But some of them will be one of a kind. One of, so to speak.
You can absolutely include white embers that are coming up. That might be in the fire.
Where are you going? All right. They put it in the Oxford Dictionary. There you go.
There with the illegal coffee garden. This is a little of my yellow and white. Sometimes you can kind of like make some dots instead of lines. Little round sparks. That's a thing to do. You didn't know that was a thing to do.
You're just now schmancing it up.
What we're doing. We're just now schmancing it up.
See, you can work that into all sorts of things. Talking to your kids. You can drop the Shamcey routine with me. See, I got this one locked in.
Yeah,
Is this
you
part
try
of my
that on Lunabella or Shamcey kid and see how it goes.
dadcabulary?
Dadcabulary. That moment when you realize that you're now the parent saying crazy things to another human being. Doesn't that look amazing? I'm going to stand back and give that a look.
Yeah.
That's starting to be there. It's starting to be.
It's definitely looking that. See, in order for like these words, in order for your dadcabulary to work, it's about the delivery.
Is
because
it?
You have to be able to deliver. Don't you get schmancy with me? Legitimately angry, like they're afraid of the tone, but the words come out and they're like, "Wait, what?" Which is one of my favorite things to do with my kids.
They don't love it.
No, they do not.
It's not their favorite thing.
My second favorite thing is, my male pattern deafness.
You are a handful for all of us. I'm not even going to lie to you.
What?
You're.
See? Right there.
So that's our life.
Uh-huh.
You want to just...
Who said getting old can't be fun?
Not you. You have definitely leaned into it.
You always had those friends that were like, they were old when they were young, and they're just like, they're hitting their 60s and they're just coming into their own grouchiness. It's like, oh, right. This is just, I knew you forever. You're just this way. Now we understand. What you doing over there?
Just adding some stuff. All right, now I think we were down to this like sort of finishing move.
Oh yeah.
Where we want to put some like final little detail sparks and things out with our detail brush. It's a bit of an involved journey. So let's call this a step and come back and add our fiery sparks.
Okay, the schmancy sparks.
The schmancy sparks. Are you guys liking it? And then, always catch those time lapses because we're going to start on, especially in the complicated paintings, dropping time lapses beforehand. And so sometimes you can see me take a painting even further. And then John had the best idea for a new video series. I'm so excited about. Oh, I'm so thrilled about it. All right, so I'm going to get a detail brush.
No, you're not.
I'm not?
No.
But you're about to do a step, so why can't I have a detail brush?
Step it.
But you're about to do the step, so why can't I have a detail brush?
While you pre-step
me. It takes me a minute to find the detail brush.
Don't step away. It's too much for me. I can't handle it.
All right, so now we're going to put some embers in. We're going to use a number 1 monogram liner. You could use the number 4 round if you need to. We're just going to take the time and put some of these little dots out there.
Those are definitely schmancy.
It's the Shamcey part. You got to give it some. And give it some embers. A little energy and ember to your fire.
Now, if you guys need any links or support or help, you can post up in our Facebook group. You can email support@theartsherpa.com. You can post questions in the comments below after the show. Because after the show, they stick around and we can respond to them really easily.
Yeah,
so
we do.
That makes it super easy to respond.
I'm going to put a weird product out. I often use it. I didn't have it out at the beginning, but I think it will help me.
What is that product?
This is Golden Fluid Acrylic Titanium White. So what's happening, I'm at the end of my painting, and the wet palette is helping, but the paint is still pretty thick, and I need to thin it. And rather than you just going through thinning and thinning and thinning with me, I'm just going to use the fluid paint. How's that sound? Yay!
That sounds like a good idea. So what it is you needed a more liquid paint to solve this, and rather than just adding water and adding water and adding water, you just pulled out the right product.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm going to do.
If you were at home and you didn't have liquid white, you could start with some fresh white and add water.
So we're adding little tiny ember highlights. Because sometimes our embers have highlights, right?
They do. Super big thank you to everyone's generosity out there in Super Chat and Stars today. To all of our patrons, you guys, it's just amazing you helping us do this. And really, the patrons are the ones who are making it possible for everyone else to have these. So thank you guys.
And everybody actually helps, like sharing the painting, showing up and viewing.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys come to paintings, then YouTube's like, oh, you like it. We'll show it to more people. And then our art family grows. Right? So even just showing up and watching helps. You wouldn't think it, but likes and dislikes help.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a YouTuber recently. He's covering this kind of current case right now. And
oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it because
internet sleuths.
He's an internet sleuth. He's a hobbyist investigator. Anyways,
I feel like this is Murder in the Buildings, only not
real life?
like
real life. All right,
just
we'll
needed
see
like
how that is.
it
I feel
extended
like these are
beyond.
maybe too evenly spaced. So I'm going to just.
If Martin Short were in there, I'd be in it. I'd be all about it. But I think I'm just going to stick with Murders in the Building.
So I'm just adding dots so that there's not too much of a pattern.
Dots.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is these embers are burning, but I don't want them to connect your eye into like dot, dot, dot. So anyways, he said a really good thing. He's only been on YouTube for like 14 months. And he's just recently blown up. But he keeps saying this thing. He's like, go ahead and leave me a down thumbs because I need to know if you don't like the video. I want you guys to understand where you thumb a video up or you thumb a video down, YouTube does penalize us. It doesn't care which way the thumb goes.
You just engage. That's all they care about.
That's all they care. So it doesn't hurt me. And sometimes when I see a video gets a lot of down thumbs, I know it's somebody being petty and awful. But sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, the sound was off on that video. We got to improve the sound, or the lighting was off. Or
right.
It helps though if you're going to leave a comment. If it's feedback where you'd like me to improve it.
That's how we know if it's petty, generally speaking, is that if it's just some random schmo, like petty person wanting to come in and just drive by thumbs down us, then that happens.
I don't care though.
But you can
it
tell.
It doesn't hurt me though. You guys need to realize when you see those thumbs, it doesn't hurt my channel.
It doesn't bother us at all.
Yeah.
It just lets us know that there's a petty person out there. They just showed us.
That's okay.
Themselves.
I don't even care why.
Yeah, no, we don't care.
It doesn't bother me. I don't even think of them as petty sometimes. I'm just like, okay.
But the ones where we get like negative thumbs and comments, then we end up knowing we did. Like, oh, I had the sound off and had to fix it.
People can't hear music and the sound at the same time.
Or I forgot to put the thumbnail up, or whatever. but we'll fix it.
So whatever it is, it's okay. Don't feel like you can't.
Nope. You can. That looks like a little hungry fire. That's a calcifer that needs some googly eyes.
Some calcifer.
If you just put googly eyes right above that little mouth, it'd be
doing
like,
that,
nom.
You goof. I am not doing that, you weirdo.
I have the googly eyes.
I know you do.
I need that preloaded as like a little graphic so I can just put googly eyes on things.
We're adding these little details of flame. It's just something that, you can do that'll make the painting seem more considered. But anyways, all feedback is good.
Not all feedback is constructive, but all feedback is good.
Sometimes feedback tells you something's going on that's fishy in the neighborhood, or somebody's very confused about how YouTube works.
I love
how old it is.
Or I love when someone comes along and is like, I invented the internet. Like, did you?
Did you know?
That's so cute.
So it's all good though.
It's all, yeah.
It does help, and none of it hurts. And I want you to know, like, even when I'm frustrated, I'm not that doesn't get to me that much. Right? I have a lot of support here, and I have a really great art fam, and I'm pretty blessed all the way around. We're just doing the little detail works, guys. Little details. Details are nice. Little embers that could be coming up, and see how they're like little. And I'm going to stamp back, and I think I just need one more little value or range of them. They're starting to look pretty good, though, right?
Yeah, it totally is.
I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to try to thin my red as much as I can with clean water. It's still pretty juicy, so I think I'm going to get away with it.
Yep. Jennifer, she says, I invested Post-it notes. Romney and Michelle's high school adventure.
Totally, Romney. It's so true. Gosh, I love that movie so much. I rewatch all the time. It cracks John up. I love that movie so much. I totally invented Post-its. No, you didn't. I love Janine Garofalo. That's exactly what she would do in real life. She'd be like, no, you didn't. If she was your friend, too, she wouldn't even be like, ride or die. She'd be like, right to her friend. I don't know what you think, but that isn't true. You got to Google stuff before you say it out loud.
They didn't have Google back then.
Yeah, we did. But we called it whatever. Ask Jeeves or whatever.
Like, you had Yahoo, and there was
We're just adding these little CAD red dots everywhere for Alta Vista. Oh my gosh, CAD red dots everywhere to kind of.
And of course, AOL still had their own internal search engine for their
Oh my gosh,
whatever chaos was happening inside those walls. Oops, that camera's.
I remember when I was like, I'm never gonna leave MySpace.
MySpace will never die.
That looks silly. Facebook looks silly. I'm never gonna leave. Ever.
What is Facebook?
I like how I mock myself. I'm like,
What is Facebook anyway?
It's just like, what? People are like, you should get on Facebook. You'd like it. I'm like, I'm friends with Stan Lee. I'm never leaving this platform ever.
So
that's really what it is. I'm friends with Stan Lee over here, and I'm not friended to him over there. I'm never leaving, ever leaving. And who knew that later I would have a complete and utter internet battle with Tila Tequila?
Man, the original pitch for Facebook was so bad. I didn't. I was like, it was like, no, this is how you can connect with all your high school friends, and I was like, yep, nope.
I never wanted to do that. So we're just we're putting these little sparks out here, guys. See how the little sparks do help? They do help. Let's sit back and I think I need some sparks going out this way.
All right.
I need some more sparks. So when you come paint with us, you do learn to paint, but we are chatty. So if you don't like chatty, we will annoy you.
This is the wrong place.
No worries. There's other non-chatty places, and we do time lapses now, so that's completely quiet.
The other chatty places are not as good at teachers.
Oh, I don't know that's true.
I do.
Okay. Well, you're my husband, so I think you're biased.
Nope.
I think. Okay. Here's what I honestly think. Even in the wake of everything that's happened recently, I think that everybody has somebody that they love out there, and that's okay, and I support that.
Yep, you're still a better teacher, though.
Because you support me.
No, just objectively speaking.
Let's see. Well, let's keep touching our little brush and making little dots. I don't know how well I'm doing right now. Twix wants to say hi, guys.
That's right. Twix is not...
She's like, the floor is puppy and she can't play down there anymore.
She just totally flopped on you. She's like, no.
I'm going to take my comb and maybe add a little hot spot. So I'm adding just little white hot spots, just to pick
Twix
that up with
is totally.
my finger.
What are you doing, man?
I'm doing my job, Twix. That pays for your little weird, very expensive chicken dehydrated jerky treaties. I think her treats are more expensive than my treats.
Uh-huh. She's just over there chilling.
Yeah, she likes it. She just needed some reassurance. It's really tough when a new cute puppy shows up. It's a metaphor for life, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
All right. What do you guys think? I think it's a very nice 16 by 20. I think you guys can do a good job. Don't you think they can do a good job?
Yeah.
You guys are going to do a great job.
You just got to sign it, though.
Yes, I do. Should we sign it? Should we? Mm-mm.
You're a stinky dog.
Look at her.
She's just so forlorn.
So sad.
She's like, I needed to cuddle so much.
It touched everything. Everything. And it's mean. It's mean.
Okay.
It's not mean. It just really loves her and wants to play with her. And she's like having none of it.
You got to sign.
They don't care.
They do. Oh, they don't care.
You should hear her little whimper. She's having a drama. She's being very dramatic.
She is always very... Look at her. Look at the camera. I'm going to milk this. I'm going to take more. Oh, see the scratches. You have nails and scratches. We need a Twix cam for when she's on the floor.
Don't
Brenda says.
Me. I love you.
She's super getting you.
She licks her boom boom.
I'm going to lick my butt, then I'm going to come visit you. And lick, oh, there we go. Lick your face.
Everything's okay in your world. And there she goes right now. So she's right now. I'm going to take, she's sniffing. All right, I'm going to take a little of my titanium white over to my Diox purple and my cad red. And it's a color I used earlier in the painting. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to get a version that's not too bright, but will still show up on the painting. And come right here. And we're going to just give a little signature. Who's coming tomorrow to do the one Hoots super easy cat bat moon?
Now turn that surface just a little bit to your right.
This one?
Yeah. No, turn it the other way. There you go. I'm going to zoom up around that. Just let people look around at that for a second.
As we go out, or?
No, just right here. They wanted to take a quick look just for the folks to see. I'm going to turn off this. Here we go. And they wanted for me to zoom in here so we could really see some of these embers and some of the magic that you put in here. And so I'm just going to give them a quick walk around here. Let them see some of this stuff, so that they can understand how to get these little ember strokes and these little touches of magic in there. We'll come down here and we'll take a look at those rocky embers. This was just so beautiful. Little calcifer mouth. Nom, 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 nom.
Nom, 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 nom.
But you can really see that it's the highlights on those rocks that really bring it in. And when you get close on them,
those aren't rocks. These are embers.
Yeah.
It's burning.
burning parts. But
burning
when you,
parts
when you get up on
probably
them,
wood. It's fuel.
you can see that they're not very. They're very loose. They're very loose structures.
But together,
so there you go.
It becomes a fire.
Super
fire.
Pretty. Fire!
Fire!
All right, now you can go tell them about the stuff. There you go.
What am I telling them about? Okay, so tomorrow we're going to paint one hoop, very all family, all age, beginner friendly. If you got the newsletter, it's the latest one. Just open that up. It will also explain to you if you're like, why am I seeing kind of the same painting? You will be seeing on Tuesdays and Thursdays, probably time lapses that are going to be about 14 minutes for the upcoming videos. You can use those as a preview. You can use those as a way to relax, just understand, be like, do I want to do it? It also is going to help our channel because the platform is really wanting some shorter content too. I mean, it only is giving me that notice like every time I sign into my dashboard, something that would help you. Like, okay. So we're there now, kind of kicking and streaming, but we're there now. And I think actually it's really good. I think the first two I put up, you guys gave me that feedback that I loved so much. Not all the feedback we got, I love, but the feedback you guys gave me, we loved, which is that it helps you to know what you've got coming up. And so that was like, as a teacher, I needed to be like, yeah, I'm doing this. This is worth it. That's those days. Lives are going to be Saturday and Sunday at 1 p.m. We're still doing watercolor over on the watercolor channel. And we'll get in, we've got some easy stuff and some complicated stuff coming up. So it's going to be alternating back and forth. The other fire that I originally was supposed to do before I like crazy, the patrons, you guys are going to get that. There's an upcoming live there. There's life book going on. So you can check, if you go to my Facebook page, the Art Sherpa Facebook page, I think you still might have a day to enter. So go check that out if you want to maybe win a life book. Anything else? News.
Tomorrow we're going to have stuff for sale?
Tomorrow we're going to have stuff for sale. And we'll tell you about that tomorrow. And I'll put up some posts and everything about that. So if you've been wanting to collect a watercolor or an acrylic or something, those will be available to you. Anything else?
Thank everybody for coming, man.
Seriously.
We had a great show.
This
was fun with everybody.
Do you remember Ferris Bueller? Life comes at you pretty fast. It does. Life comes at you pretty fast.
You know what I have to say to that? Would you like to play a game?
No, I really would not like to play a game.
That's the definition of things in my life.
I know. Everything is like, would you like to play a game? I don't want to play thermonuclear war. Here's the thing.
You don't always know you're playing that when you're playing.
Here is the thing. One of the things I heard recently, and I challenge you to go into this week doing, which is be comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? Sometimes things are frustrating to us. Sometimes our paintings are frustrating. Sometimes our friends or family or online stuff is frustrating, and really kind of try to sit and be still and recognize that you're okay. Not always, but a lot of the stuff, you're okay. And you don't necessarily have to react or participate in that. So that's what I'm going to be, hopefully. No, now I challenge the universe. It's going to throw me something awful. But that's what I'm going to be working on. You know how the universe is like that. It's like, oh, you want to work on something? Let me give you lots of opportunity to be mindful. But that's what we're working on. And it's a good thing to do in your painting. Walk away, take a break. It's okay. It's okay. It's art. You're okay. Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. I want to see you tomorrow with the cat bat really, really soon. Bye-bye.